Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a minute since I made a video. When was the last time I made a video? I think like in January. It's been so long. I hope everyone is doing fine. If you're new here, my name is Daisy and Lamunu, and I'm glad to have each and every one of you. If you're not yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. And today we're going to have a very interesting conversation, and I'm so excited to talk about it because I'm going to make 23 years. So I'm like, Daisy, how bad would it be if you actually made a video about the 23 lessons you've learned in your 23 years of life? So that is the topic I'm going to talk about today, and I hope, we all enjoy it. Number one, patience comes with a reward. And this is, I believe so much in patience, and I believe I've become a more patient person over the years. Those days, I was very impatient, and I wanted things when I wanted them. But right now, where I'm in life, I've gotten to understand that sometimes you are not yet ready to receive the thing that you want in your life. So the best option is to be patient. So by the time you actually receive what you wanted or prayed for, you're actually ready to receive it. Because sometimes you'll be probably praying to God that you want God to give you something, but the question to be asked is, are you ready to receive whatever you're asking for? And I think that is something that everyone should incorporate in their lives. Learn to be patient, learn to wait, learn to hold back and have self-control, and reflect and look deeply and think, am I ready to have this in my life? Then the next lesson number 2, is walk your own walk. Don't compare yourself with others. And this is something that I have struggled with for so long, and I know there are very many people struggle with comparison. Now the walk your own walk, I got it from, I was listening to Michelle Obama, and she was talking about how everyone has a different walk. Your sister has a different walk than you. Everyone is going life a different way, and we all have to know who we are and know that where we are in life is where we're meant to be, and you don't have to compare yourself with the next girl. And this is the next girl or the next person near you, and this is something most of us struggle with. We are, even the society where we live right now, it's like, it's impulse. You don't even recognize that you're comparing yourself with someone, and that comparison makes you not to appreciate what you have in your life, because you think you are less than, you think what the other person has is better than what you have. But you know that comparison is endless. You think the person whom you're comparing yourself with is the best, yet even them, they're comparing themselves with someone else. So the standard of comparison is endless. But when you actually appreciate where you are in life and just look at people you see from a level of inspiration, but not from a level of comparison, because comparison breeds jealousy, and you become bitter and resentful. Yet actually, if you appreciated where you are in life, you'll be better off. Lesson number 3, the best things in life are free. And this sounds so cliche, but the best things in life are free. They are so abstract. Let's say love, kindness, compassion, gratitude. Those are things that are abstract. You can't touch them, you can't feel them. Oh, you can't see them. Yeah, you can feel them. You feel kindness, you feel compassion. And it's, I don't know, but the ego makes it feel like it's so cool to be arrogant, to have an attitude, to be rude. But I feel like leaning back into these abstract things will give you more peace and joy in your life. Because imagine you're going by your day and you show someone an act of kindness. They're going to put a blessing on your name, or you actually, let's say you're having a bad day, but you choose to help an old woman cross the road. You'll feel better after. I don't know how that happens, but it's like you feel lighter. So guys, lean into those free things that life gives us. Kindness, love. Just spread those things around you. Then the next thing is, life always gives you a chance to start over. Now this is huge. You know, like how you go through life and let's say something not so nice happens to you, and you start thinking, oh my god, this is it. How can this be happening to me? I'm probably going to depression, going to anxiety. But one thing that keeps me sane, and life is always giving us, throwing new chances in our faces, just because we are blinded and we're not yet ready to receive them. But I think if you actually take it easier and look at each day as a new stepping stone, I think you will live a more happier life. And this is something that I try as hard to incorporate in my life, because no matter what happens in your life, the next day is a chance to start again. And that is a good thing. And now the next point is a very humbling point for me. It's no one is better than me, I am better than no one. The ego, that one thing the ego does is the ego makes us feel superior than other people. And at the same time, it makes us feel less than other people. Have you ever been there and you look at someone and you really believe that I'm better than this person? Let it be academics, let it be looks, let it be money. You automatically think, you put a standard on yourself that me, I am better than you. But imagine this statement is so humbling. No one is better than me. I am better than no one. So it makes you be on an equal stand with someone and the people around you. You live life egoless. You live life from within. You're not looking at what the ego is telling you, but you are present and you know that you are not better than anyone. And it also gives you courage and gives a level of esteem to tell you that no one is better than you. So you're fine the way you are. The next one is self-love is much more than a cute selfie. So like how, like let's say you go to Instagram or you go to Facebook, you're going to see someone who will post a picture and then they will put hashtag self-love. And I think the concept of self-love is so complex. It's so complex. And self-love is hard. Loving yourself is so hard. Loving yourself is uncomfortable. Loving yourself is doing all the things you don't want to do. But just because, social media and just people around us, we romanticize the idea of self-love. But actually self-love is sacrificing some things, foregoing them so that probably you can better yourself. Self-love looks like taking care of your mental health. Self-love looks like getting out of that toxic relationship. Self-love looks like listening to your inner self more than what the world thinks about you, believing in yourself. That's all self-love. And other forms are also self-love. Let's say self-care, it's also part of self-love. Yeah, that's there. Then the next thing is discover what spirituality means to you. Now, me, I lean onto the spirituality part other than the religion part, because we all believe in different things, but I believe spirituality connects you more to God. If you actually know God on an internal level, you know what God means to you, then I think it's a good place to be in. Despite the religion you profess, you should know what does your spiritual life look like. And I think that is something each one of us needs to ponder on and get to know what their relationship with God look like. Then the next one is, when you feel fear, use it to your advantage. Now this is so big for me because I feel like where I am right now in life, I am getting out of my comfort zone more. And yeah, the fear pops in, the inner voice telling me, oh, you're not good enough, or you can't do this, or who tells you you can do this, all those things. But then the thing that I've also realized is you can use fear to your advantage, in that fear builds courage. Because the moment you feel fear and you actually step out of that fear and do what the thing you're afraid of, it's like a reassurance that, wow, I actually did this. And it builds more courage. It's like more confidence is built. And that's a good place to be in. So whatever you actually want to pursue, even if you are fearful about it, do it. Because the flip side is like, okay, what's the worst that could happen? Let's say what's the worst that would happen in any situation that you are actually afraid of doing? The next point is, the next lesson I've learned over time is, they won't always like you. And this is something I have learned and I am still learning and dealing with it, because I'm a people pleaser, and like sometimes you just don't understand, like you meet someone and a person doesn't like you, and probably it offends you, like, oh my god, what did I do? I remember there's this time in high school, there was a girl who told one of my friends that she actually didn't like me, that she hated me, and of course I didn't know the reason why she hated me. So it bothered me so much, so much, that I would be like, I'd sit back, those thoughts where you sit on your bed and you're like, why doesn't this person like me? What did I do to this person? But then I realized everyone has their issues they deal with. Everyone probably don't like you because they're also struggling with their own things that probably remind them of their past, or I don't know. But what I've realized is, even if I struggle with this, is what someone thinks about me, or the fact that they don't like me, it's none of my business. It is you with your thing. You don't like me, and that's okay. You're not supposed to, just that acceptance of not everyone is going to like you. I think it brings peace, knowing that despite of what I do, there are some people who are just not going to like you, and that is fine. Then the next lesson that I have learned is, forgiveness is harder than you think. Most times you read your Bible or you hear in church, they tell you forgive your neighbors so that God may forgive you. Like, it's easier said than done. Literally, you think you've forgiven someone, and then something snaps, and then you are back to zero, and you just, the same pain or the hurt you felt the previous time comes back, and you just don't realize, you just don't know how this all happens. You thought you had actually forgiven the person. I think the other thing that is harder than actually forgiving others is forgiving yourself. Let's say you do something that doesn't sit well with you, or like you do something that makes you regret so hard. Moving past it is almost, it's like life taking. You keep going back. It's like you have so much shame to carry on that you actually don't know that you actually you deserve forgiveness. But I think it's a process that me myself I'm still learning, though I've realized it's really hard to do it. It's really so hard. Then the next lesson is, the best thing you ever do to yourself is be present. I don't know how many times I will have to emphasize this. I think I'll even have to make a separate video on this. There is a book that I was reading that has taught me this lesson so much, and it's called A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. This book, I would recommend it to anyone who is on a self-improvement journey. It is the best book you could ever read. Like most times we go through life either looking at the past or looking at the future. We are never present. Have you ever been there? And even personally, I still struggle with this, but presence is a very good place to be. You're just present. You're there in the moment. You're living life as it comes. Because I've realized I rarely hold one thought at a time. Let's say I am doing this right now, but probably I'm thinking about something else. Have you ever been there? Let's say you're in class, but you're thinking about the food you're going to eat. That is you losing out presence there and then. But being present, it's so good, because the past is gone and it will never come back. And living in the past it leaves us with burden and worry, shame. Then going to the future, we can only reach the future if we go through the present moment. So there is nothing like going to the future without going through the present moment. So I think this is something that I am learning, and I have learned that has been of so much benefit to my life. Then the next thing is, write yourself a note whenever you're sad. And this is something that I do every time I'm sad. I write to myself, and it really helps, because it's like you're talking to someone who, even though you're not replying, the person is going to reply, you are going to feel better instantly. I would recommend it. Every time you're sad, pick out a journal, your pen, write it down. Then the next thing is, I have learned that my best is enough. Now, being a person who struggles with perfectionism, I'm a perfectionist, and perfectionists are people who want to be above judgment. And this, I think, perfectionist comes from we grow into it. Like, let's say you probably have a parent who was a perfectionist, or let's say you had a teacher who kept telling you in school you are dense. Even if you did your best, they're telling you, why don't you ever get things correct? Something of that sort. So it's like you grow into it. You learn the habit of being a perfectionist because you want to be above judgment. You want to impress people. It's like there is nothing you will ever do that is the thing about perfectionism. There is nothing you will ever do that will ever be perfect, because you will always be looking at the next thing. You're like, I would have done this better. But the thing that I have learned that has really helped me is just, despite what I'm doing, the thing that I lean back to is, Daisy, you are doing your best, and your best is enough. And I think this should help anyone out there who struggles with perfectionism. Your best is enough, and that is all that matters. For you, your part is to do your part and do it well. The rest is not in your control. How things turn out is not in your control. That is that. Then the next thing is, reading books will make you wiser. I promise, reading books will make you wiser. Read a book. Though my schedule is now very fixed, and I have kind of stopped reading, but this is something I would highly recommend. And this is something that I am going to incorporate in my life again. Reading books makes you wiser, whether it's a classic book, whether it's, though I prefer non-fiction, it's a blessing. Your mind is going to think and reason out things very well. And by the way, the truth that, let me be honest with you, reading books, it will make you wiser, but it's not easy. These are the things that require mental strength. Okay, it's easier to be on TikTok than read a book. It's easier to be on Instagram than read a book. Reading a book, it's like your intention about it. You get up, you get that book, or go on your phone, download that book, and actually decide to read it. And reading it is, probably some books have like 500 pages, but trust me, even if you read half a page a day, it will make a difference. That I am sure. The next part is, money doesn't bring you happiness. I swear upon that. I personally have not yet gotten a chance to have my own money, but that is the thing that I know. I am not saying that you should not have money. That's not what I'm saying. But just understanding that even when you get money, you're not going to be happy, because happiness is something that comes from within. I pray each and every one of you gets to have money, because money comes with comfort. But that is different from happiness, because happiness is something that comes from within. It is you make your own happiness. Despite you having the bag, it doesn't guarantee you that you are going to be happy. So I think understanding that is important. But make your money. Make your money. The next thing is, walks in nature are the best. I'm going to leave it at that. Walks in nature are the best. Then the next point is, try waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning. It's a game changer. Trust me, it is a game changer. I struggle with waking up. I also love sleep. I struggle with waking up. But trust me, waking up at 5, it makes you, I don't know the magic behind it, but try waking up at 5. By the time 10 a.m. reaches, you feel like a genius. You feel like, oh my God, I accomplished all these things in this short period. And remember, like, let's say by 10 you're done, and you still have the remaining hours of the day to yourself to accomplish the rest of the things. I think it's something that each and every one of us should try. I'm still struggling with it, but trust me, the game changer. The next thing that I have learned is, it's never that deep. It's never that deep. It's whatever happens in your life, it's never that deep. And I think just that sentence will change something if you get to understand it. I'm not going to explain it, but whatever happens in your life, always remember, it's not that deep. The next point is, I have learned that I'm not responsible for the things that happened to me in my past, in my childhood. But it is my responsibility to make sure that I heal and move past all those things. Despite, I don't know how your childhood looks like. I don't know the things you struggle with. I don't know how probably you grew up. But trust me, all the things that happen in your life, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. And trust me, you understanding that you had no control over the things that happen will give you the ability to forgive yourself and forgive your past. But just know that it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility. Whether you were abused, whether you had a bad childhood, whether you were neglected when you were young, it's not your fault that those things happened to you. But it's your responsibility to make sure that you heal and you become a better person, and you grow out of all the things that happened to you. And I think you realizing that will bring you so much peace and happiness in your life. Just making better decisions and forgiving your past and just trying to be a better person will make your life so much better. The next lesson is don't overthink it, just do it. Now, first of all, my victim, I am an overthinker. But trust me, I might have to, this is something that I've learned. Let's say I want to do something and I see myself overthinking and beating myself up, like, oh my God, what if it doesn't turn out? What if I'm so bad at it? But 99% of the time, probably you might suck, but trust me, you have done it, and that is what matters. With time, you will get better at what you are doing. So whatever you want to do in life, don't overthink it. Don't give it so much thought. Just go and put in the work and do it. And it's easier said than done, and we all struggle with these things. But trust me, sometimes you just have to do it. Not perfect, but just done. The next one is be single. You will not die. You will not die. I promise you, you will not die. I'm not throwing shade to anyone in a relationship. I'm actually talking about people who are single. Like most times we romanticize what relationships. We romanticize being in relationships. We think it's all red roses and chocolates and hugs and cuddles. But trust me, relationships are hard. Just because where we are right now, everyone feels like if you're single, you have a problem with yourself. But in case you're not in a relationship, work on yourself. Be the best you can, so that when you actually meet someone, you're actually the best partner they probably prayed for, and vis-a-vis they're the best partner you prayed for to have. And I leave it at that. Be sick, you will not die. You will not die. I promise you, you will not die. The next thing is your anxiety is lying to you. That is one thing that I have learned. I have learned this, and I struggle with anxiety so much. But trust me, the voice in your head is always lying to you. It is always, and it's always going to lie to you. And that is it. You just have to know that who you are is separate from what the voice in your head is. Sometimes your mind just creates things. It's bored. Like, it always goes to panic mode every time. But trust me, let's say every time you're anxious, you pull back out of that situation. I'm talking like it's easy, but not that. Let's say you sit back and you rationalize and you think about it. Put it like a drawing. Let's say they're telling you, your voice in your head is going to tell you you're going to be a loser. Write it down. Rationalize it. What is the evidence that shows that you're actually going to be a loser? Anxiety is a liar. That is what I can say. Then the last one is, don't wait for someone to believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. And I struggle with this because, if you're a person who loves validation. Most of us love validation. So let's say we want to be affirmed. We want to be told, oh, you are so good at this. Oh, you should do this. Oh, I believe in you. Okay, that push is there and it's needed once in a while. But trust me, most times, let's say you want something, you will have to first of all believe in yourself before other people believe in you. And I think it's a very good place to believe in you, a good place to be in, where you actually believe in yourself and know that you are capable. And what I can say is everything, it's a learning experience. Let's say today you fail at it, tomorrow you try again, tomorrow it builds confidence. And just those small steps you take will make you more confident. And just know you have to, despite whatever you're doing, just know self-belief is something that each one of us has to incorporate in their life. And this is what I had for you guys. And I am so glad that I shared the 23 lessons I have learned in all the 23 years I have been alive. And I pray it helps anyone out there. You may be struggling, or you're not in a very good place in your life. But I pray that when you listen to this video, when you watch this video, it at least helps you and probably boosts your mood. And yeah, I am glad and I am happy that I am getting this. I'm making this. Bye.